morning, everyone. I needed to do a video to respond because it was going to be too long-winded, and I think the response to some of these questions of why are some of my friends and my neighbors running for city council at Mountain Brook. And the reason why is because we have shown weakness in our city and our Board of Education during COVID. We showed weakness that we can't stand up to the people that are trying to go with the flow and make poor decisions for our children. One being masking outside in 90-degree heat. I saw my children on the playground in masks. Like, that's wrong. It's also wrong to keep them out of schools. And there were petitions running around our community to keep our kids out of school. That baffles me. And I understand it was times during COVID. Guess what? Not a single child in Mountain Brook school systems died of COVID. That's not saying COVID wasn't bad. It was horrible, horrific, something that we should have protected ourselves about and done well with. But when it goes overboard and it's to a detriment of our children instead of saving them, that's when we have issues in our city council and our education system. We have issues, right? We also have issues with the social emotional learning. There are issues there. I read through it and there was like, hey, guys, social emotional learning, it sounds amazing. There's nothing to see here. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so great for our children. It's going to be a change in our school system, but we need it. And I have all these Mountain Brook frummers that are liberal, that are like, oh, our school system doesn't need to change. I went to Mountain Brook. I'm amazing. I'm an amazing person. I'm super smart, way smarter than you if you didn't go to Mountain Brook, just FYI. And that we need the social emotional learning though. When you look into it though, social emotional learning, it looks great. It looks amazing. It's so good for our children, 95% of it, right? 95% of it. But if you're going to start telling my children who are white and from Mountain Brook that they're racist because of the color of their skin, that's wrong. And that's what social emotional learning is doing. And it's already happening. I had a liberal group tell me, a board certified dermatologist that works on making skin healthier, that the makeup that I was choosing for our clinic was racist. The makeup was racist. Now, why were they saying it? Was it because the makeup was truly racist? No, they weren't saying that. They were saying that because I was white, lived in Mountain Brook, and I chose it. They were literally attacking me because I was white and lived in Mountain Brook. They weren't attacking the makeup. They were attacking every single decision that I made because I was white, right? That doesn't mean I don't think racism exists. I was definitely adamant, like I'm against racism. I went to an elementary school, 80% black. You can go look it up. It's Burroughs Elementary School, Mobile County, 80% African American, more Hispanics there are Caucasian people. I grew up in the middle of I wouldn't even call it diversity because it wasn't truly diverse, but it was around people that truly were hurt by the system. So I believe in racism. I want to fight it too. I want to be anti-racist, but I want to be anti-all racism. So if you tell my sweet little children that they are racist because of the color of their skin, I have problems with that. Real major problems, because I know that it can affect them and their lives and institutions that they work for, or if they're starting their own institutions. So, and also let's talk about this too. I love gay people. I love LGBT. I want to support you. I want to love you. But if you're going to come and talk to my 5th grader about why you live a lifestyle that you live and who you're choosing to have sex with, I want to be present in that conversation because I love you. But when it comes to sex, I want to know what you're talking about. Like, I want to know what you're talking about with my 5th grader. And when it comes to social and emotional learning, they're trying to hide that it's even in there. And it's very political right now. Like, okay, so do transgenders belong in girls' bathrooms? This is happening right now at our gym. There was, guys that were gay, like taking their clothes off, waiting for something to happen in the bathroom. I don't want that around my children, right? And if there's going to be things like that discussed, I want to be present. And that doesn't mean I'm anti-gay. I'd be anti-porn too, to a 5th grader or a 3rd grader. And the social emotional learning, it includes that in there. It's having those discussions. It's like pro transgender rights. I'm all about teaching kindness and love, and everyone should have rights. Every single human being should have rights to protect themselves, right? So our city council has shown weakness, that they can be bullied by parents that have liberal and different views than other parents in the community. And we should be able to stand up to that as a city council, as a board of education. We should be able to stand up for that. And I applaud, I wish I had the time, but I'm a mom of 4 kids. I own a business that I'm extremely passionate about. I'm here in Miami trying to find swimwear that truly does protect the skin against the sun, that actually looks good, because in Mountain Brook, it's a beautiful community. It's a beautiful community on the inside and out. There's a lot of amazing people. Some of those amazing people came from Mountain Brook. Some of those people came from other places that worked really hard just to be able to live in this great community. So change needs to happen. Change needs to be made. It doesn't have to be radical. It's not going to be radical. We're not talking about taking away the football or any extracurricular activities, because that's the fun thing. Like, it's funny that someone else mentioned that, like, oh, like Chris Powanda is going to take away football. Social emotional learning has always been in our school system. Definitely in extracurricular activities and in the classroom every single day. Why? Because we have great teachers that are teaching them math and science as well, to say thank you, to say please, to be kind to each other. That's always been a part of the school program, person to person, whether or not it's in curriculum. But when you put political agendas in curriculum, that's when it becomes wrong, and change needs to be made, because weakness has been shown. We are not a weak community. We are a strong community, and we need to show that we can stay strong and fight for our children and what's truly best for them. Thank you guys. Love you.